LexLocal. I'm your host, Rick Dorrington. In our top story, Superintendent of Lexington Schools, Julie Hackett, released a public statement on the proposed new elementary school start times. This is what she had to say. After careful consideration, our administrative team has decided that the best course of action is to put our elementary start time proposal on hold. There will be no change to the elementary school start times next year, but yet to be determined start time changes are still on the table for future years. This comes after a public outcry from the community at the October 11th school committee meeting. Many parents participated via Zoom.
Tonight on behalf of numerous Lexington elementary school parents who are adamantly against the early school start time. Many of us, in fact, were surprised that a vote is being planned to take place this soon, October 25th. And in just 2 weeks, for example, in Dr. Hackett's letter to everybody on September 27th, in the email itself with the 7 bullet points, there was no mention of the October 25th start time. And I know this caught many parents by surprise, and it really was a shock to many. And we had a meeting where 50 parents showed up on a 24-hour notice. That soon, that many people came outspoken against this issue. So I want to make sure you're aware of how many people are really against this. And at this point, we feel the process hasn't been as transparent as it should be for important matters such as this. Even sitting here tonight, I didn't really hear it discussed very openly. It was very quick. So the transparency and some trust issues with parents, they're questioning this. And as a school,
I want to oppose the proposal to shift the elementary school start time to 7:40 a.m. I believe this will be a huge blow to working parents, especially those of us who work in person rather than remotely. It will force parents to pay for additional childcare that they may not be able to or willing to do for various reasons. A 90-minute shift earlier in sleep schedules is also not in the best interest of our children's health. To get, 11 to 12 hours of sleep, they would have to go to bed at 6 to 7 p.m. The proposal and decision process is lacking transparency. I find that it's rushed and is not including parents' opinions.
So I'm a mom to first grader at Hastings, and I'm opposing the shifting of starting time to 7:40. So there have been many reasons, and I believe you heard enough from us. One thing that's particularly affecting me or maybe many of the new families in Lexington is that there is a long wait list for Kidsborough aftercare. So my family moved here this summer, and I got on the wait list sometimes in July, and now we're in early October, and I'm still not getting in any of the Monday to Thursday that I'm on the waiting list for.
We're a Bowman family, and I am also calling in with a very strong opposing view to this proposed time change for all of the reasons that have been stated before and others as well. We both work full-time. My husband and I both work full-time, and we have, like all families and everyone in the country and the world, have had to adjust to a lot of change in the last 2.5 years. And we have dealt with a whole lot of chaos in the process. Much of that could not have been helped, but this change can be helped, and it puts a disproportionate disadvantage on elementary school families.
In the public statement, Dr. Hackett makes it clear that both educators and parents agree there should be a change in start times. However, they just need to find the perfect time that works for everyone. The change would come starting in the 2023 to 2024 school year. The school committee held 2 parents' forums this week, so hopefully they're closer to coming to an agreement. The 250th anniversary of the Battle of Lexington is 3 years away, but the Lexington 250th Committee already kicked off their first public meeting. Here's the chair of the committee, Susie Berry.
Lex 250 is a commission that the Select Board put together about 2 years ago to organize all the events that we'll be putting together surrounding the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Lexington that will take place in April of 2025. We envision it to be events that will start in the fall of 2024 and go up through 2026, most likely through July of 2026. takes an incredible amount of planning to get this done. You know, we're going to be working locally with the state and with our federal partners for this. We also intend to invite, you know, as high up as the president and some other dignitaries. We want this to be, you know, a 15, 18-month long extravaganza of events that involves everybody in the community, no matter what your background is, no matter what your race is, no matter what your ethnicity is, no matter what your abilities. So, you know, we're thinking about inviting some of our friends from England to come. We also are aware that there are reenactors that travel from all over the country and all over the world to come here to Lexington, because they feel like this is where it really began, and they want to come to Lexington. They want to come to the Battle Green. They want to, you know, immerse themselves in our history. So the marquee event would be over Patriots Day weekend in April of 2025. That weekend, what it would look like to me, it would look like 72 degrees, sunny, partly breezy, no rain, no snow, incredible happy crowds, a beautiful reenactment, a fabulous parade, just everybody happy and celebrating the reason why we have the freedoms that we do in this country. They certainly can reach out to the Lex 250 committee. That's easier to say than Semi-Quincentennial Commission. So we have an email address, which is lex250, lex250 at lexingtonma.gov. We're also on Twitter at lexington250. We do have public meetings twice a month. Right now we meet on the first and third Wednesday of the month. That's posted on the town website, so you can see the agenda there and get the Zoom link, because we're meeting remotely. And if you go to the town website, you can see all the members of the commission and get in contact with any one of us.
Organizers are looking for this 2025 event to be a massive celebration that is likely to start months before Patriots Day. The Lex 250 committee says it really wants this to be a diverse and inclusive event. To that end, representatives from other town organizations were invited to attend the meeting to see how they can get involved.
Well, I'm really looking forward to merge the two things together, because Lexington has so much history in itself, and I mean, what our forefathers have done in the past, and you know, we're carrying on with their legacy of how to bring people together, how to bring different communities together, how to bring different religions together, and just create one big bond, one big family. So this is what I'm looking forward to with the 250th celebration.
We celebrate both the past and today. Lexington today is such a welcoming community, and which, you know, as immigrants, old and new, are all very appreciative to its diversity, inclusion, and equality. Lunar New Year celebration, for example, and we also, other traditions are becoming our more newer traditions, like the AAPI celebration series, the Asian concert. These may be some of the aspects that can be, you know, merged with the Lex 250.
The reason I came tonight was to involve myself with, you know, to educate myself on what the Lex 250 was all about, and also to see how we could involve CPAC in diversity, equity, inclusion, and making sure that everyone's involved. It seems like a great group of people that are volunteering, and I'd like to be a part of it.
The committee also made it very clear that they would like as much help from the public as possible. So, again, if you'd like to get involved in any way, please reach out to lex250 at lexingtonma.gov. And LexMedia is getting involved by making videos for them, including one that will live at the newly renovated visitor center. So stay tuned for that, as we're very excited for that opportunity. We'll be right back after this look at some upcoming events in Lexington. Welcome back. Lexington residents gathered on the Battle Green to honor Captain Pat Flynn. It was a ceremony fit for a hero. Devin Shaw gives us the background on Captain Flynn and some moments from the celebration.
Please stand.
Winston Pat Flynn passed away in December of 2021 at the age of 97. He was a celebrated and highly decorated military hero who was laid to rest in the Arlington National Cemetery. When Captain Flynn retired from the military, he moved to Lexington, where he became a fixture in the community. His seemingly endless list of contributions culminated in him receiving the White Tricorn Hat Award in 2006. According to those in attendance, he was a selfless man of action and took great pride in making his community and country a better place.
We are honored to represent a grateful nation for Captain Flynn as we celebrate and always remember his valiant service to our country. Captain Flynn is the recipient of the Combat Infantry Badge, also known as the CIB. Captain Flynn earned the CIB 3 separate times, denoted in his award of the CIB with 2 stars. This 2-star award is one of the most rare awards, as less than 250 soldiers have been awarded it. The CIB with 2 stars is more rare than the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Courageous, kind, dedicated, humble, sincere, altruistic, hardworking, honest, high attention to detail, good sense of humor, always prepared. These are just a few of the words you could use to describe Pat Flynn. However, the one word that resonates with me most is devoted. Pat was truly devoted to his wife, Edith, his country, and his community. It is for his devotion to his country and his community that I offer the following proclamation from the Town of Lexington Select Board on behalf of a grateful community. We, the Select Board of the Town of Lexington, Massachusetts, hereby recognize and honor posthumously Winston E. Pat Flynn and name Monday, October 3rd, 2022 as Winston E. Pat Flynn Day in the Town of Lexington.
I'm honored to participate in the ceremony today to recognize Pat Flynn. I'm here not only representing the Lexington Lions Club, but also, more importantly, the White Tricorn Hat Award. On Patriots Day, April 17th, 2006, Winston E. Pat Flynn was chosen as the 2006 White Tricorn Hat recipient.
Pat organized and served as the first chairman of the Lexington Outstanding Youth Award Committee. The idea of a youth award was born during discussions with the Lexington police officers and based on the consideration that too often public and media attention is focused only on delinquent kids, while no heed is paid to the town's outstanding students and their so many positive contributions. The youth award was swiftly implemented in the town with full approval and support.
What better way to honor Pat's memory than to establish an award in his name that recognizes an outstanding graduating high school senior. As a result of collaborations among the Lexington Veterans Association, Edith Flynn, the Town of Lexington, and the Lexington Youth Commission, I'm proud to announce the creation of the Pat Flynn Youth Award and the Pat Flynn Youth Award Fund. The fund has been established to be managed by the Town of Lexington. Donations may be made directly to the Town of Lexington, care of the Pat Flynn Youth Award. And yes, this is a solicitation.
I am more than honored to be asked to say a few words about one of America's finest soldiers, caring husband, and our Special Forces brother and father, Pat Flynn. I've never met a man more humble than Pat Flynn, a warrior who answered the call not one, but on 3 separate occasions in 3 separate wars, with each a completely different warfare. He was so humble in sharing his stories with us, and he would always ask about ours and want to know our stories as well. He could have written out the rest of his career behind a desk after the Korean War and enjoying the rewards of being one of the few combat vets still in service. But Pat was personally recruited by the father of Special Forces, Colonel Aaron Bank, for his leadership and his combat experience. Pat didn't think twice about that request, and he was on the first flight off to Fort Bragg to become one of the originals. An outfit of the Army's best and most rebellious men that pushed the limits of their own minds and bodies and possessed that indomitable spirit to never quit. Without heroes like Pat Flynn, who fearlessly walked into the unknown alongside Colonel Aaron Bank and believed in his vision of an unconventional American guerrilla fighting force, and became the foundation of our history. We are honored to continue this legacy, and we will never forget where we came from. I am truly graced and humbled
to have known Pat for 10 years and share his stories with my family and with my teammates.
Lexington has recently been getting a lot of attention from one of its favorite sons, Bill McKibben. The Lexington Climate Action Network, LexCan, recently invited him to speak at Cary Hall about his new book.
Award-winning author Bill McKibben returned home to Lexington to talk about his new book, The Flag, the Cross, and the Station Wagon, at a packed Cary Hall. In his typical incisive style, McKibben used his upbringing in Lexington to review the past 50 years. Early in his book, he states, "I'm convinced, in fact, that Lexington, because it was both very typical and slightly set apart by its place in American history, provides an unusually sharp lens through which to view those times and our time." Here are a few memories of Lexington that Bill shared during his talk.
It's a real pleasure to be here. In fact, really almost more of a nostalgic pleasure than I'd been thinking. I'd been saying to Mom as we walked in that for many years, through 2 or 3 years, when I was in junior high or early high school, and I was very interested in politics even then and things political. And this room was really kind of, although I'd forgotten it, sort of my school for that. I would come during town meeting week after week and watch. I'd sit up there in that corner right there, and I mean, this was in the days before cell phones and things, so you really had to watch, you know, and learned a little bit about my neighbor, George Silverman, who was a town meeting member from Precinct 9, next door neighbor would drive me there and back, and I would absorb and think and learn. And it was a good school for learning about politics because there was conflict, but it was gently managed in the way that one would hope. And I've since gone on to live in very small New England towns where we get to have actual town meeting, where everybody comes to town meeting, and I'm grateful for those expressions of democracy. Now, I'm aware that this makes me sound like an odd human being who would have been better off going to watch a basketball game or something, but in fact, I did that too. I covered the basketball team for the Minuteman in its great and glorious run to the state championship in 1978 with Mark Nesline and Tom Sullivan and Gene Mewborn winning the state championship. And the same week, my partner Robin Jacobson and I won the state debate championship for the first time. I believe that Lexington has won it every single year since. But since it was the first time, it was received with, so there was a big party here for both the basketball team and the debate team here in Cary Hall, and I remember it well. But of course, the time that I remember really first and deepest from this room is the one that I describe in the beginning of this book. And it was on that night in 1971 when the Vietnam veterans against the war, led by lanky, charismatic, impossibly young Lieutenant John Kerry, just returned from the war, wanted to stage their protest on Lexington Green. And the town fathers said, no, people assembled here in Cary Hall for an informational meeting where the selectmen were going to explain why they weren't going to let people camp on the green overnight, bivouac there as a protest. And it sticks in my memory because it was the first time I'd ever seen adults, I was 10, I think, at the time, really angry with each other and up and yelling. And it was a night of extraordinary high emotion because the stakes, of course, were high. The Vietnam War was raging at its highest. And of course, I remember what happened afterwards when the selectmen said that they were going to arrest people on the green, that the good people of Lexington turned out in their hundreds to get arrested alongside those people from the VVAW. And that my father, though it was not at all the sort of thing he did, was one of those who went and got arrested. It was It remains the biggest action of civil disobedience in the history of Massachusetts. And that's why it's really inspiring to be in Lexington, where people have begun to work hard on this. Thank you for what you've done already. Thank you for what you'll do going forward.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Kelly Cleary, the Associate Director at Beena Farm Center. We are a nonprofit therapeutic horseback riding center, offering our families a community where they are supported. Our team meets our participants' unique needs in a safe and fun way. Our mission brings together individuals with and without special needs by offering a variety of inclusive enrichment programs to help them thrive and make their best contribution towards their communities. We provide a comprehensive and therapeutic recreational environment utilizing equine-assisted activities and therapies, vocational training, and creative complementary therapies for children and adults with physical, developmental, and emotional challenges. Each participant's team of instructor, volunteer, and horse uses an individualized lesson plan to make steady strides towards their goals. Running a therapeutic center takes a whole community. To support our mission, volunteer in our therapeutic programs, sponsor a therapy horse, donate, or have your company arrange a team building day or group volunteer project. However you can, we at Beena Farm Center hope you will join us in bringing people together.
Welcome back. SNAP, the Special Needs Art Program, is celebrating its 40th anniversary in Lexington. As part of that celebration, there's a Founders Fund concert this Sunday at the Scottish Rites Museum. SNAP Executive Director Heidi O'Meara gives us the history of the organization, its goals, and its aspirations.
SNAP is a nonprofit organization for those who identify as having disabilities. We create opportunities for people to express their artistic talents and abilities, cultivate friendships, and enhance community awareness. We are very excited to celebrate our 40th anniversary this year. SNAP was founded in response to dramatic changes in public policies in the 1970s concerning the most effective way to meet the needs of people with disabilities. In 1982, Marilyn Abel invited her friend Judith Goldner to join her in forming an integrated chorus for teenagers with special needs. Sing-along chorus began with 10 singers from the Lab Collaborative at Lexington High School and 8 student volunteers. No musical ability was required. With music as the special connection, the chorus provided previously unavailable opportunities for socialization and community outreach. From the beginning, Marilyn and Judy worked as a team, planning, organizing, and directing all aspects of SNAP's activities. SNAP Sing-Along Chorus has run continuously since our founding in 1982. Rehearsals occurred twice weekly from September through June, even including 17 months over Zoom during the pandemic. Sing-Along Chorus performs in our own concerts twice per year in the fall and spring, as well as in community events such as the Lexington MLK Day of Service. No previous singing experience is required, just a love of music and a desire to share that with others. Individuals participating in Sing-Along Chorus include teens, adults, and seniors. The SNAP Special Artists Program began in 2008. Special Artists is a visual arts program focused on developing creative skills and personal expression. Everyone benefits from creative expression, and everyone has a point of view to share. Special Artists runs year-round, and participants include children as young as 5 to seniors. Participants' artwork is reproduced into matted, framed prints that we exhibit in public spaces and businesses in Lexington and the surrounding towns. People with developmental and intellectual disabilities often experience a lack of community support systems and peer groups, which can lead to isolation. Everyone needs friends. For people with disabilities, maintaining friendships and social connections can be significantly more difficult. SNAP programs help our singers and artists to build long-term friendships and connections to the greater community. Our programs give people the opportunity to be identified as an artist or a singer and not be defined by their disability. We have a lot to celebrate this year with SNAP's expanded offerings and an amazing staff that continues to engage our participants in creative, artistic, and musical endeavors. We are doing well and looking forward to many more years of promoting even more opportunities in the arts for people with developmental and intellectual disabilities. We want to thank the community for their ongoing generous support over these past 40 years. At SNAP, we dream of a world where everyone is seen and valued.
Finally, we'll end the show with a look at this year's Discovery Day. I think we can all agree it was a picture-perfect October day in New England.
What a beautiful day, downtown Lexington Center, Discovery Day 2002. I'm Eric Michelson of the Lexington Retailers Association, and I'd like to welcome you to this fantastic community event. We are running it for the second time. We missed out this spring due to weather, but the crowds are back. We have over 105 booths here today. Local businesses, organizations, and town departments, all out for people to come down and discover just what Lexington has to offer. It's really incredible. The crowds are growing. It's only 11 o'clock and the crowds are growing by the moment here. As the food comes online, we have all kinds of restaurants, great local foods, and people are going to be down here for lunch. We also have 2 entertainment areas. We have a stage in front of Santander Bank. We have Ben Rundick playing, followed up by the Jeffrey Allen Shaw Band playing that afternoon out. And then down at the Waltham Street end of Mass Avenue, we have a stage where we're featuring a lot of local groups, both music, performances, demonstrations. It's a great new venue for this event, and we're glad to have them all participating. But it is really a fun day. We have the Depot Square in Emery Park just full of booths. You come down, you can visit the fire department and learn fire safety, the police department, learn about child safety. The bike transportation groups are here, and they're giving out helmets, and we have people teaching you about sustainability, as well as all the businesses. If you don't make it down this year, come back. We'll be doing it again in the spring.
Right. We're having so much fun. It's so enjoyable. You guys should definitely come this year or the next.
We're LexMedia. We're Battle Road Bikes. I'm Russell. This is Denali.
Guys, I think that Discovery Day in Lexington should be once a month, not once a year, because Lexington should have been discovered once every month. Thanks.
Yay, Lexington!
From all of us at LexMedia, thanks for watching.